and 17 foot-pounds. Okay. And I forgot I had this. I think this will work. Okay. And the big nut there is 24 millimeter. And it gets torqued to 109 foot-pounds. It's kind of hard to do because as you're torquing it, this thing just keeps twisting. So, I don't know. I just kind of did this one, then torqued the other one, and just kind of kept going back and forth until they both torqued, but it was kind of iffy. It worked in the end. Okay, I'm gonna have to torque the front, or I guess it's technically the rear. I'm gonna torque it down real quick and see if that helps with that twisting. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put some blue Loctite on this guy. I don't know, there was some kind of factory thread sealant or whatever you call it on this thing when I took it off, so I don't know. Might as well, I guess. Don't forget the washer. Okay, so with that one done, now this one should be a little easier because it won't want to jump around. So let me set this to 109 again. 109 foot-pounds. Okay. And I also wanted to mention real quick that even though I don't have this jacked up and, you know, basically with the weight of the car sitting on the suspension, I'm pretty sure that I'm thinking about this correctly. Right now, the coilover is the way it came out of the box. It's set real low, and so I measured the ride height, and it's like 1/8 of an inch away from what it's going to be anyway. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that we're good to torque all this stuff as is, the way it sits right now, because I haven't dropped it down to where I want it yet. So I think I'm good to go on that. Then I might as well do this control arm to subframe while I'm at it, which is 72 foot-pounds. Now this will, for most people out there, will be 19 millimeter on both sides, but someone has replaced this bolt with one that's got a 15 millimeter head. Alright, and then for this ball joint nut, I've got a jack pushing up on this to hopefully keep that taper up in the knuckle, to keep that from turning. It worked on the other side, so let's see how we fare on this side. Oh, and then I went ahead and acquired some crow's feet. So this is a 22 millimeter. That way I'll actually be able to torque this properly. Okay, it's getting harder, so switch over to the torque wrench. And this is going to be 44 foot-pounds. Alright. So that worked. So I believe that's everything. Let me look at my list here. Okay. The only thing we have left are these clevis bolts down here. And I'm going to follow the Josh's car corner torque spec of 110. And then what I also need to do is get the protractor on this rotor and get it back to where it was when we started. So let me do that real quick. Alright, I think I've got this where I want it. I'm not really 100% sure on this, but again, I don't think it really matters because it's going to go somewhere to get an alignment done. But essentially what my thinking here is, the lower the suspension hangs, I'm pretty sure the camber goes more positive, I think that's the case. And so since right now this isn't hanging as low as it was when it was stock, I'm just going to guess that it should be 1 degree more negative than when I started. And so that's where I've got it right now. So now I'm going to get all set up to torque these clevis bolts. And these are both 19 millimeter. Alright, might as well go ahead and put these caliper bracket and caliper bolts back in. I am using red Loctite and new Nordlock washers. However, this time I am not going to torque to yield these. I'm just going to go 129 foot-pounds with both of them. And I did reuse the one. I've read some about torque to yield lately, and I'm convinced, I'm on the side of torque to yield is stupid unless it's really critical stuff. And yeah, you could argue this is pretty critical, but I would argue that 129 is good enough for this bolt. Why isn't it good enough for that one? It's a lot of torque. And I'm Loctiting still, and I'm Nordlocking still, so I think it's fine. Okay. This line back in. Alrighty. That's plugged back in. That's done. Those are done. Okay. Alright, now for the sway bar link. So here's the literature. Left hand side, right hand side, and then not only that, but the bags are labeled left and right. So remove these. And so the orientation that they want is basically you come in from behind on the upper link right there, and then the other one, I mean, it's pretty obvious how that goes. So from behind on the top, and then down there. Might have to finagle it a little bit. Get that in there. These are 17 millimeter nuts. Now, I don't know where I got these specs from. It must have been the manual. It says lower link different than upper link, so it must be from the manual because the stock one has the straight stud at the top with the bushings and all that. So it says 37 pounds for the lower link and like 17 or something for the top, and so I thought, okay, since these are the same style as the lower link of the stock end link, I'll do 37 pounds on upper and lower. And on that side, one of them went just fine, but the other one, it really felt like it was about to strip out, so I just stopped. And on these, I'm going to go to 30, and I think that'll be fine. And for this thing, it still needed a little bit of tightening. We are looking at 58 foot-pounds, and I'm going to go ahead and just use, since I've got this new set of these things, and everything looks like a nail. Oh, I haven't even set this thing yet, have I? I'm about to go to 109 on this guy. So we'll go 58 pounds on this. Stop it from turning with this Allen wrench. Alright. And then this plate here, I don't know if you can see that, but it says top on it, so I'm assuming that means this side up. And then this is supposed to be 41. And 41.